Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here with the current Summit Showdown, and I just kind of crossed the 1,000 trophy mark, so I started recording some of my runs. Typically, I go for the 1,300 run because there's a prize car. Other than that, I'm not too keen on running these. But in this case, one of the good news about this showdown is that the Apex car is actually one of the cars that you should have and need generally for most of us for the event, and that is the Chiron. It turns out to be one of the quicker cars in the grouping of showdown cars. What's beautiful about this showdown is that almost all the cars that are in the top portion of being the fastest are competitive with each other. Sure, the Chiron, well driven and runs right on time, would definitely trump everybody else, but that's not to say the other ones are left to not have a chance at all. So you have good chance of winning no matter which way you go. The bad news is, of course, on day one, like any day, you're still going to need a fully maxed of whatever version car to do this. The other thing is that the regular 003S, if you bought this years ago or when they had it available, fully maxed, it is a little bit faster than, I believe, most of the competitor cars in here, but not quite faster than the Chiron. They might be neck and neck because I didn't look up their final positive time. And as you can see, the best time possible is enough to beat my LFA for sure, because I cannot get under 7.30 with the LFA. Most of my runs are 7.3XX. It could be 1, 2, 4. And if I mess up the launch, it could be a 7.4. So the LFA, while it's good, is kind of right there in the middle of the pack, right? The MC20 is a neck and neck race with you. The V12 Vantage is a neck and neck race unless the guys that drive it are really good with it and can run a very good time. Those are all competitive races. So the showdown's actually kind of fun this time because of that. But it can also be frustrating because if you happen to be close to where you need to be and then you get a guy that just trashes you a little bit, and again, they're not going to trash you, they're just going to beat you by a bit, so it looks like a close race and you may end up losing and then go, oh man, I thought I had that. So that's kind of the races that you're going to be facing with this particular showdown, which is incidentally looking like it's pretty easy so far with a maxed LFA. Not to say that the Lexus is easy to get maxed. I actually ended up taking some fusions off of my LC500 just to make this car ready for this showdown. And after the showdown, I may or may not transfer the fusions back over again. Having spent a few hundred gold already, I'm not too keen on doing that. And it actually takes more gold to remove it from a tier 5 than to remove it from a tier 4. So here's my first V12 Vantage, just a Quantum. Let's see how it goes. So the Vantage, I think, runs 7.3. The Lexus runs 7.3. So you're pretty close, right? It all comes down to how well you can launch and shift the car at this point. Okay. Oh, he's not getting off the line. All right. Wow. This could be a disconnect on his part, or it could be an intentional glitch on his part. Now, we know that people do this. They intentionally don't start. They hope that you'll be impatient and leave and they can get the win. Now, normally I would just leave. I don't care for this. I don't care to wait for this. But today's different. I have just been notified my lunch is ready. So I'm going to go have lunch. And then when I come back, if the guy is still waiting or we're still disconnected, then I'll let it go. But, at least I'll do that on a full stomach. So let's see what happens when I come back. All right, I came back from a quick 30-minute lunch, and here it is, opponent disconnected. So I have now won this race, despite the fact that he didn't start initially. I think either the computer or something got him kicked at this point. Good for me, I'll take the win. But actually, after one more race, I do have to take a break because as I'm approaching the higher rankings within the 1,000 range, I know I'm going to start losing. So there's no point to really push at this point. Rather, I'm going to go do some other things that's more work related, finish work, and then come back to this after work. So I took a nice lunch break. I did a few runs before lunch, take a little lunch break. Now I'm back. I'm facing a Chiron, which again, if they drive it right, I have basically no chance. And he drove it pretty well. So right there, as you can see, 7.292, I can't beat that. So that's a definite loss. And I kind of expected that coming up into the 1200 trophy range at this point, that's going to happen. So like I said, I'm going to take a break and we'll revisit this later in the day. Give it more time for more players to get here. All right, we're back, and we're back at it. So this is now later in the day. I'm done with work. I sat down, booted up the PC, and we're back to this. At this point, my 1100 trophies no longer up in the top rankings, but that doesn't mean I can't run into some fast cars. Another Chiron as my first opponent. Let's see how this plays out. Now, what I've learned about the LFA is that you have to kind of launch it right. A slightly early launch doesn't seem to hurt you, but a late launch, and I've done that a few times, does seem to hurt you. So got to keep an eye on that. If you do it right, a 7.3 run's not hard, but if you screw up your launch even a little bit, but not as picky as electric cars, but if you screw up your launch a little bit on the late side, you're probably going to run a 7.4, so that could cost you a race, especially up in this particular range of trophies. So again, another Chiron. When you get to this point where you're getting opponents that are definitely supposed to be faster than you and may end up actually faster than you, then there's a good chance that you're going to have to leave and come back to see if you can get better opponents. So I look like I won that, but I lost. That's typical lag, and that actually does not upset me at all. Some people feel that's cheating. It's not. That's lag. His connection and my connection were laggy, and then he still ran his 7.294, which beat me. That's a fair run. Can't complain about that. So again, here the computer's kind of going, let me see if I can find somebody. I just beat him. You know, should I give him an easy or hard opponent? I'm going to take whoever comes on. But you know what? Since the computer's saying I can't find an opponent real fast, let me jump out and jump back in. And fingers crossed that the next opponent won't be as tough because I just lost one. So should give me a little bit of a break. My trophies went down. Opponents should be a little easier. So we're going to jump in and out. And I'll do this again each time I lose. So just jump out, come back in if they don't find an opponent right away. If they do, that's fine. So here we go again, another Chiron. And that's not unusual, right? A lot of people are building their Chirons for the event anyway. Oh, so this is going to be a bad run. I just saw I launched late on this. I may not. Wait, I won that. I won that. That's good. That's good. But it's a bad run. See, even though I won that, I got lucky. He ran slower than I ran. But I'm a 10 slower because I launched late. I saw it after I launched because I blanked or something and didn't hit the launch button on time. So now I got to be more careful. We're going to launch a little bit earlier, not late, so I can get this done. And again, if you launch too early, that's not good either. So there's kind of a fine line where you need to get it right. So once again, even though I won that, the computer's having a hard time finding opponents. We'll jump out, jump back in. I would not normally do this if I had the Apex car. Obviously, in that situation, you just blow right on through whichever opponent comes, they come. They're most likely going to lose unless they're just that good. When you don't have the Apex car, of course, every little advantageous trick you can use, you're going to use it. Leaving and coming back usually gives you some different pool of players. That's the hope, at least. And sometimes it plays out in your favor, and oftentimes it does not. So don't count on this being a trick. I don't think it is. You're just playing the lottery of what the computer decides to pick when you leave and come back. And sometimes the lottery hits and other times it does not. Okay, against other LFAs, it's, again, running it the best you can. And if you can run it well, you should get a win. I've had some tight runs with other LFAs, so it's not necessarily always going to be easy. The gold stars are a little bit slower. So my purple star does have advantage against the gold stars. So I shouldn't lose to this gold star unless, of course, I screw up the launch and run much slower. So here it looks like I'm holding my own, and boom, another win. As long as you're winning more than you're losing, you can keep going. But if you run into a streak of losing, you should leave and come back and see if you still lose. If you still lose, that means you're too high in the trophy count for your car's capabilities and your luck has run out. Take a break. I did that from this morning, and I'm having a pretty good run right now, heading towards 1300. So the end is in sight without too many races, and this is kind of a good thing. Now, obviously, if you don't have a Folding Max card, day one, and not even using the Apex car, I wasn't expecting to get this far this easily. But because all 4 cars that are in the top 4 are pretty close in time, you actually have a chance. So this is kind of working out well here. It's challenging, it's fun, and I'm actually making good progress, so I'm happy. Oh my God, another 7.4 run. I don't even know how I'm winning these. That should have been a loss, but I'll take them where I can get them, so I'm not complaining. Again, you know, all 4 cars are pretty close, so this is kind of fun. It's challenging, but would I want to keep going after I get the car? No. As soon as I get the car, I'm going to go collect it, and I'm going to focus on building that and getting through the event, because in the end, if you really want to run this showdown with the Apex car, you're going to want to get that Ferrari and then build that. If you want all the stage 6s, of course, that's going to cost you some moolah. But nonetheless, it is possible to get the car at 1300, build it, do the event, and then come back and finish the showdown with the Apex car when the time comes, before it runs out of time. You can do it in one day. You can get a few thousand trophies if you're really good. So it's not, you don't need to keep banging your head against it every day for multiple losses. You're almost better off losing 1 or 2, stop, wait an hour or 2, come back, let the range of players move up a little, and see if you can get a slower opponent. So again, if the computer doesn't want to give me an opponent quick, I'm going to leave. I'm going to come back. If I had the Apex car, obviously I wouldn't do this as much because there's no need. But here I'm always kind of hoping each time I go in, the random matchmaking based on my updated trophies will be in my favor. That's the hope anyway. All right, here we go. Again, these Astons can run very tight with me, if not beat me, so I need to be very careful to get the good run in. It's looking kind of tight. Up. Ooh, that's a close one. Did I win? Yes, I did get that. But that, you see how close that was? That was a close run. I just eked that one out. I don't even know how I got it. Now, if I get the next run, obviously I get 1300. I can almost guarantee you the next one won't be an easy challenge. I've never found, hey, this is the same guy I just ran, isn't it? Yeah, his trophy went down, mine went up, so we're matched up again. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm not sure I launched that well. Oh, man. Okay, it's a little off. It was early, but it was a little off. Ah, bummer. Bummer, I just lost. That sucked. I could have gotten, you know, I could have beaten that time. I could have easily beaten that time. All right, I called it, that's jitters. That's what you get when you're like close to the goal. You get the jitters. You're like, and you lose. Okay, not a problem. Breathe, focus, and we can do this. Ooh, MC20, my first one. I have a chance against this card. This is going to be a tight run, though. The MC20 runs basically what the LFA can run, or if not, slightly fast. I think they're about very close. I don't think the MC20 is faster, though. Come on. Wow, that's, wow. I got it. I got it. Woohoo. Oh, on a tie. On a tie. And I got 1300 on a tie. That's beautiful. That is photo finish for the 1300 trophy run. I think that's the first time I've done that on one of these showdowns. That's awesome. And look at it, right on 1300. It's not even giving me one extra trophy beyond it. So now the big question, I must go back to my garage now. There's no way I'm going to keep playing. Go back to garage right away, collect that car. And then if I want to risk more, I can risk more. Or I go back and I lose some and give some other players a shot at getting there. So first things first, do we have the car? Yes, we do. Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to collect it. And that's it. That's the 1300 trophy run for this hill, what is it? Hill Peak? Peak Hill? Now I forgot the name of the showdown. But anyway, the Summit Showdown. So I have now won the car from the Summit Showdown. Immediate next thing on the agenda is, of course, to build this, get it built enough to finish the event, and go from there. The 03 does not share stage 6s with the 004, which a lot of us have. So unfortunately, this Carbon Edition, unless you bought that old 003S back in the day, I'm not going to have any stage 6s for this car. So the question is going to be, am I going to get any, or how much I'm going to have to pay to get them? Or can we get lucky and actually finish the event without stage 6s? The short answer to that, in my opinion, is no. There's no way. They're going to make you spend on this car one way or another, because that's how the developers can make money. Well, I got to finish this event, so they'll make a few bucks off of me, whatever it is, and I'm okay with that. So that's it. That's my 1300 trophy run. One glitcher, which I managed to outlast by eating lunch, and then you know, pretty cool, challenging competition overall. So I enjoyed that. All right, if you like the video, leave a like. If you have any comments, feel free to make them. And if you like my channel and like to see these kind of videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get notified when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.